Good morning, afternoon, or evening, beautiful people. This is Jackie here, and today I wanted to introduce to you all my weekly perfume tray. So, I am a huge fan of affordable fragrances. I actually just started collecting fragrances maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. And over that time, I've definitely developed a crazy obsession with perfumes and developed quite a bit of a collection as well. When it comes to fragrances in general, I think that what makes me so enthused about perfumes is just smelling different fragrance notes, being able to recognize them, seeing how well they blend together, and finding a fragrance for a perfect occasion or a perfect mood, to create even to like help to put together a perfect outfit. So, I want to go ahead and give you a look over on my weekly fragrance tray of affordable fragrances. These fragrances range from $1.50 to 16.99, all very affordable. These are pretty accessible to the general public, but more or less in person than they are online. I did find some of these at some rack stores such as TJ Maxx, Burlington, and even like my local beauty supply store. So, go ahead and grab some tea, grab some water, grab whatever you need to grab. Listen in. This is going to be a lengthy and a chatty video. I'm going to tell you about all seven of the fragrances right here that I have in front of us and tell you about like their performance and my thoughts on them too. So, let's go ahead and get started with this one right here. This is actually going to be called Diana by Caesar's Roman Goddess. This one is actually a cheapie. I picked this up from Burlington for $4.99, and it actually just turned out to be pretty good. The thing about this one is that I actually did not initially buy this with the thought of like, oh, let me just get this one because I know it's going to be good. Because the way that Burlington sells their perfumes is that they lock them in these like acrylic cases, so you can't necessarily smell them before you buy them. However, I took a chance with this one because I actually purchased another perfume. It's called Minerva. I purchased this one first when I went to Burlington, and I picked this one up because it was also just $5. And the scent notes didn't sound too scary. Mandarin, water lily, and patchouli. I was like, okay, this might just be a generally likable scent. I took my chance on it, and initially when I purchased this perfume, it was incredibly light, like very, very subtle. I didn't think that I would like it, so I would only wear it I gave it a couple of chances. I would only wear it like to bed, but ultimately I ended up loving it. So then like probably like a month and a half into having it, mind you, I still was wearing other fragrances, but like a month and a half into having this, I made it halfway through here. Like I had a huge dent. So that's what brought me to go ahead and just purchase Diana, because Diana I actually did get a whiff of when I was at Burlington, because someone took off the I hate to say it, but somebody broke off one of the like safety monitors on it. So I got me a new bottle or whatever, knowing that it already smelled pretty good, and then kind of just left it as is. So when I did finally take my chance on it, I was, I would say I was intrigued but confused at the same time, and let me tell you why. So Diana is a very mild fragrance. Like it is very easygoing. It's very neutral. When I refer to mild fragrances, I think of things like soap, lotion, deodorants. It's one of those kind of scents that is very compatible for most people's noses. It smells clean, it's not striking, it doesn't lean too powdery or too, sweet or too it doesn't lean too far of anything. It's a very neutralizing scent. And so Diana is actually consisting of three notes. So we have bergamot, magnolia, and cedarwood. And what tricked me up about Diana when I first bought this and made me more hesitant to try it out was the fact that like it smelled like Suave powder deodorant. And I've been wearing that deodorant pretty much since I was a teenager. I can stand by Suave. Like, I tried other brands. They make me itchy. They make me sweat. For some reasons, my body likes Suave. And it's funny because it's like, This one smells very much like Suave powder. And when I first wanted to wear it, I kind of reached for it and I put it down. I would reach for it, put it down constantly whenever I'm trying to pick out a perfume in my collection, because I felt that it didn't make enough of an impact. Whenever like I'm going through my hygienic routine, I use very like low scented or no scented products. So I mean like unscented body lotion, barely scented body oils, um, unscented body creams, powder deodorant, or no scented deodorant, you know? So for this to smell very much like my deodorant, I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't want this to smell like an armpit all day. And it's not like it's a bad smell. It's not musty in any sort of way. It's not even animalic, you know, but it's just extremely mild. And so it made me kind of weary. But I think what it is that as I actually started wearing this one and giving it a chance, instead of just kind of smelling it from the bottle and spelling it on a piece of paper for a sampler, kind of grown akin to this. Like I've worn this, honestly, this is the first week I've worn this. I made a very slight dent. I haven't worn this every day, but I do get my chance to wear this. And so Diana, because I'm still working with it, I would definitely say this is more or less my right before bed scent. This is my get up in the morning and I don't have anything to do scent. Or this can be my pre-gym scent. Because I don't like to spray perfume after I'm all sweaty. This is what goes on me before I'm sweaty. And I like the fact that it's mild, because when I go to the gym, it's not cloying to anyone. It's not like, too sharp. It's not offensive in any sort of way when I start to sweat. Much like the deodorant that I use. So this is Diana by Caesar's Roman Goddess, $4.99 at Burlington. So this is something that I've been working on this week. We'll see how far that goes. My goal is to make a dent in every perfume and to use up every perfume I have, regardless of the fact that I have a huge collection and I'm still growing some. I'm actually intrigued that this is my first week actually giving it like a more consistent use. And it's not terrible. It's just something that I would say is more casual. Sometimes I date people who don't like perfumes at all because they think that perfumes can be overwhelming. They may have more of like a sensitive nose. Diana is like definitely up that alley of like, even if you're like at work and you can't wear perfume at work, this is more of like that subtle, clean, fresh, not even like fresh, but just subtle, clean, aromatic kind of smell. So the next one that I've been playing with this week is actually called Picnic in the Park, and this is by Memoire Archives. This one is a very similar version of perfume to Diana in the way that it also has strong notes of magnolia and cedarwood. The primary difference is that this one also has lime, zesty lime, and green tea. And so this one is also a very clean, florally aromatic scent, but it also has like this zesty citrus in it that makes it so lively and playful and fun. This one is done by Memoire Archives. I actually have 8 versions of this one. This is the last version. This is 10. This is the last version in the collection that I actually own. It's really pretty. I actually just started giving this a try, I would say maybe about 2 days ago. I ended up wearing it to work. I wore it all day and I did a touch up halfway through my shift. And I also like to spray this in the shower just to make my shower air smell very citrusy and zesty and clean. And I will say this is nice. It doesn't have a huge amount of projection. Neither does Diana, to be honest, but it actually does have a decent amount of wear time. And I guess I can say that's due to the cedarwood in this one and Diana, because these ones definitely perform very similarly to each other, in which I can spray this on and get probably like 4 or 5 hours of wear on it. But once I spray it on, immediately this one becomes a skin scent, and so does Diana. Like, it doesn't project too much. Like, if I'm walking and you walk past me, you may be able to get like a nice glimpse of like heat on it, but it's not gonna be something that's it's not gonna, not heat, I'm sorry, excuse me, you might get like a nice passing whiff, but it's not gonna leave a trail. It's just very light, very subtle, very clean, and this one's just a more fun version. So if I was to choose one or the other, I would definitely choose this one over Diana. And so the next perfume on my perfume tray that I like to use is called White Amber. Oh, I'm sorry. And then let's go ahead and dial it back. I actually ended up purchasing this in a set of 4 for Memoire Archives from Burlington, for about, I think it was either $14.99 or $15.99, somewhere around that price range, in which you get a 0.68 milliliter pack. Sorry, 0.68 bottle of perfume here. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words because I actually have a light for this video and it just keeps dying. It keeps coming off and I keep trying to, like, you know, turn it on. But anyway, that's beyond what we're here to talk about, as long as they're still able to visually see the contents of this video. So the next perfume is actually the cheapest fragrance that I have on my perfume tray. I have quite a bit of these little concentrated fragrance oils and they smell amazing. So these actually run for about $1 to $1.50 depending on where you are, but these can easily be found at most beauty supply stores. And like they sell these alongside the burning oils, but these can also do as body oils. Now these are concentrated, so I would recommend diluting them with some sort of lotion or body oil when you are applying them. But these last all day. They smell very good and they're really, really amazing to layer with other perfumes. This one in particular is White Amber. I love White Amber because it is a warm kind of animalic, resinous scent, and I think that it's really pretty in the way that it's light. This goes really, really good with citrus fragrances. So this week I did do some layering with Picnic in the Park and White Amber to help add some warmth to this fragrance. And then also, they, like I said, these do last all day. Now they don't project hugely. I would say they have like a medium projection depending on how much you decide to wear on yourself. But the thing about these is that these, like, if I'm going to describe how to layer a perfume, I would definitely recommend doing like some resinous notes to go with like citrus and florals and things that are fresh, clean. And White Amber, oh my gosh, is such a go-to. And I really, really do love this scent. Now, another amber that this kind of reminds me of is, I forget the brand of this perfume company, but usually if you go to like Whole Foods or Ulta, they sell like these super tiny little body oils, and they have like a red label and a gold cap, and they're honestly quite expensive, and I don't know why. I think they run for around like $18 to $20 for just like the little, like, what is it, half a fluid ounce that they sell these as. These are a nice little affordable alternative. No, they do not smell the same, but that ambery scent is very light, it's clean, it's agreeable, much like that other amber is. So definitely get your hands on one of these. This is probably like my 3rd or 4th bottle of this specific scent, White Amber. I use this quite a bit. And like this one is a very agreeable scent. You can use it on its own. Like I said, you can layer it. I like to even say that, you know, I haven't worn this to the gym, but this is one of those scents that you could easily wear to the gym and smell clean and very like your skin, but better, without actually like having to offend anyone. The next perfume on my list is called Citron Glace from Le Monde Gourmand. Le Monde Gourmand is a perfume brand that is typically sold at Ulta in like these little glass jars for about, I think they go for about 1 ounce each for about $25. And I actually have this little trial size because I purchased a variety pack from Marshall's somewhere around like 12 or 13 bucks. And this is the first out of the variety pack that I'm actually trying. And this is like the citrus one. Citron Glaze is a lemon, jasmine, and sugar scent. Those are the notes. Those are the only 3 notes in here. This is very sweet. I like this because it's playful. And when it comes to like lemony gourmands, I also have a fragrance called Lemon Pound Cake from Bath and Body Works, and that's like a lemon gourmand too. And the thing about that one is that it feels very warm. It feels like it's been baked, you know, and it like definitely makes you smell warm. Whereas Citron Glaze, it is a gourmand scent, but it's gourmand like candy. It smells like lemon heads. It doesn't make you feel hot. This is great for warm weather. The only thing that I will say is that honestly, I would say this is more preferable to wear in warm weather environments just to make it perform better, because this honestly does not have a lot of projection, and this does not wear for a very long time. And although if you wear it in weather, you may not get it to perform for a very long time, but you can surely get it to project if you're dealing with something that at least like 90 degrees and over, because you have to be careful with some of the fragrances that you wear when it gets a certain amount of heat to it. So I definitely say like this is a very summery scent. I wore this actually only once this week, and I wore it to bed. It was nice. I didn't use much of it. I say like when it started off, it was maybe like around here. So I didn't actually use too much in that first time I used it, maybe like 6 to 8 sprays, just to understand the performance. I will want to give this more of a try sometime later on. I just more or less wanted to smell it out the bottle because I kept trying to do like those little paper samples and get a good whiff of it, and I didn't really like it. But I'm actually glad that I gave this a chance because this is really fun. It's super pretty, and I think this is also just very youthful. So this is Citron Glaze, and I think that technically if I was to say this was a price point, I think maybe it was like $1.88 for this little like 7 milliliter travel size sample that I'm working with. And like I said, I got one use out of it, and I've been spraying it a couple of times. So I think that like this could probably get like maybe like, I'd say maybe around like 10 or 15 wears out of this. And so this other fragrance that I have in my collection for this week is a personal favorite, China Musk Type. And so this Wellos bottle was purchased from my beauty supply store yet again, and this was actually purchased for $9.99. I think it's cute because in all of their fragrances they add rose petals in the end of like they in the oils. Why? I don't know, because it doesn't necessarily smell like rose, but you know, I guess it's just for aesthetic, whatever. I don't mind it. It's cute. I like this. This does last all day. It's a body oil, does what it needs to do. Body oils definitely tend to perform way better than a lot of perfumes or eau de toilettes. So if you're not a body oil person, you should. And if you, even if you have like a more sensitive nose to perfumes, body oils will definitely be more up your alley, because they're not as sharp, they're not alcohol based, and they don't really trigger people's allergies. So this one I really like. It's more of like an aquatic, musky, aromatic kind of musk. I say, well, I mean, it's a musk, but kind of like fragrance. When I say musk, I think of like kind of like your skin, but better kind of scents. Something that just smells like that kind of enhances the natural scent of your body. And this one I like because it's, like I said, it's aquatic. It's kind of clean smelling. It smells like after the rain to me. And I really like this. I like to layer this with other fragrances. Now this is not as easy to layer. I like to use this with like more oriental spicy perfumes. I love spicy perfumes. I am a huge fan of spicy perfumes. We'll get into that later on in my channel. But for now, I'll definitely tell you like the base of like how to even balance a perfume, layering with a perfume that is spicy. This is a good base to start with. Now, none of the perfumes in this tray this week are technically spicy, but I also just like to wear this alone sometimes. It smells very clean. It smells very good, especially after the shower. Like it smells like you're still being showered on after you get out of the shower. I love this. And it's also a very unisex scent. It's very gender neutral. So I think that this is one of those things that like man or woman, you would just smell amazing in this. I love China Musk. And I actually have a smaller bottle of this that I ran out of. And so when I did see that they sell this in 4 fluid ounces, I like clicked my heels because like I kept running, like the other smaller bottle was like this size and I kept running out. So I was like, okay, I need to get a bigger bottle, and it's made a dent. It was filled to the top and I've definitely made it a dent. And I'm not mad at it. So the next perfume on my perfume tray, I'm actually super geeked about because this is like my most recent addition to my perfume collection. This is called DomeTwilight. And this is by Camara Perfumes. Now, Camara is a Middle Eastern perfume brand. They do very affordable perfumes. And they often dupe a lot of perfumes as well. This is going to smell very similar, or at least it has the same notes as Prada Paradox. I have not yet put my nose under Prada Paradox, but if you have, I think you might want to give this a shot. I actually picked this up from Burlington for $14.99, but I did look online. It is kind of hard to find in line, I will admit, but I did look online, and then at retail stores, this usually goes for around like $15 to $18. Super, super cheap. And honestly, this is a beast. And I have to say it because like I accidentally oversprayed. So earlier this week, I went on a date and it was 95 degrees outside. And I thought this would be nice because this is a white floral. It has jasmine, orange blossom. It also has neroli in it. So it's like a white floral, citrus, musky, powdery scent. Very, very beautiful. But the thing is, because it's so powdery, I thought that like I could wear more than I actually could. I ended up doing like initially like 6 sprays, and then like after I let it settle for about an hour, another hour or so, I did a couple more sprays. And it was crazy because it was 95 degrees outside that day. And when I went on my date, like I can definitely tell that the fragrance bothered him because he kept like doing this thing where he kept like itching his nose whenever he got too close to me, you know? And I didn't like that. I really wanted him to like the fragrance. I love this fragrance, but I didn't realize how much it would project even more in the warmer weather, to where this can be slightly overwhelming. So it is like a soft scent, but it's just nothing you want to go too crazy on. Maybe in the winter you can, but in the summertime, that's definitely a no-no. However, I will definitely be giving this some more tries because I really, really enjoyed the scent. I think I just need to understand like what's a good balance for this, because like this one I'll have to use less sprays of, whereas Diana, I can probably spray this like 10 to 20 times and it never becomes too much. So this is not as mild of a scent. This definitely is a beast. Now, it's not the strongest perfume I have, but if anybody knows neroli, neroli is not here to play. Neroli is kind of like a spicy, citrusy scent. You know, it definitely has a kick to it, you know. So even though this is supposed to be like blended to be more soft and fragrant, that neroli definitely does the thing. It does its job. It stands out as it usually does. So that's DomeTwilight, and I find it very, very beautiful. I'm excited to get more use of that as my days come on. Lord willing. And so this final perfume that I want to talk about, I actually had in my collection the longest out of all of these. This one I've been using for a while, but I just recently picked that one up. But this one I've had for maybe about four, like, what's this, July? I've had this since like about March, and I like this. I don't wear this all the time, but I can definitely say that, y'all, this is a man eater. So this is called Equator Rose by Milestone Perfumes. Milestone is a very affordable fragrance brand that sells their perfumes in person at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Burlington from time to time. And the thing about them is that they often dupe high-end luxury and even niche perfumes on the market. And I love that because a lot of dupe perfumes come out and they duplicate designer perfumes, which is fine, that's fun. But to duplicate a niche perfume feels so special to me because it really is like reaching out to those people who have a genuine interest in perfumery but don't have the funds to go and drop $300 on a perfume every time they want to experience a new scent, you know? And it's also just beyond just being a sample. So this is actually duping Boucheron, Catra, and Rose, which actually is not an expensive scent. It is only about $50, but it is like I think Boucheron is like a jewelry brand. It's a luxury designer. And so Milestone they did their stuff on this one. Now there's a couple of different variations of this Equator Catra dupe that Milestone's been doing. Like I think they have like an Equator Blanc and an Equator Rouge. But honestly, Equator Rose is really the best one, and it's so beautiful. I've gotten compliments from men and women alike. It's funny because the performance of this perfume varies based off of how much you spray. And let me break that down because like You don't need a lot of this. The atomizer on this distributes a lot of product, and it's very controlled. Like, you can spritz a little or you can spritz a lot. Whereas most perfumes, you get that spray and whatever comes out is out, you know? Like, this is something that you can very much control. And most Milestone perfumes have an amazing atomizer on them. So that's just something that you can keep your eye out on. When you see a Milestone, just know it's going to be good. But this was purchased for about $16.99 at TJ Maxx, and they don't always sell these. TJ Maxx keeps a variety of perfumes in rotation whenever they're stocking up, so you're not gonna always just see this if you just run to your TJ Maxx right now. You might get lucky if you do, but definitely, like, whenever you're making a visit to TJ Maxx, visit the perfume section, you may see something like this or even anything else by Milestone. They're worth it giving it a try. And the best thing about it is that they don't lock up their perfumes, so you can get a whiff of it before you purchase. And when I purchased this, I know that I was smelling this. I was smelling this perfume from the moment I sprayed it until like the moment I got to my car in the parking lot. Like, I tried other perfumes, but this is the one that like really caught my attention. Like, it had me shook. I was whipped, I was tied, I was hypnotized by this fragrance. And honestly, it does the same thing to other people. Like, you guys, this is so crazy. So like, I was doing a little bit of research on this, and like, it's funny because like people were trying to compare this to Latafa Yara. I don't think that this smells like Latafa Yara, but it's a similar kind of fragrance. Like, this is very like powdery, tropical, floral, and it's also super delicate too. However, I would say this one smells more like rose. It smells kind of creamy. It doesn't necessarily have any like tonic notes in it, but it's blended in a way that it makes it smell super creamy. It's musky and it's warm. Now, this is a very delicate scent. It projects. This is a beast. This wears for more than 12 hours if you wear enough of it. This is a beast. This is a beast. Okay. And it's funny because it's like it catches you off guard. And I think that's why I had to talk about this performance, because it's like you don't need a lot of this. If you wear a little bit of this, it's enough to capture people's attention. So when they walk past, they're like, oh my God, this smells good. It definitely has like a sillage where it's like you can walk into the room, you can walk out of the room, and you can still smell like that ghost of you, you know? This is one of those kind of smells. And it's like, this one, the more you spray it, it doesn't like become like sharp or cloying, but instead it just becomes more warm and dense. So I wouldn't say like it would smell bad, but it would just be too concentrated to where it's like it just smells like heavy, you know, and the sillage would just be more like, oh, overwhelming a little bit. So I'll definitely say wear this with caution, but honestly, wear it. If you see this, grab it, because it's very beautiful. It is very feminine leaning. It is very soft girl friendly. Love, love, love this. This is actually one of my most favorites in my collection so far. So that is Equator Rose. So I just want to go ahead and wrap up my video and just let you know that I went over all 7 of these perfumes, and honestly, I'm not disappointed with any of them this week. I really do want to give DomeTwilight more of a try, as well as Picnic in the Park. I already know that Diana and China Musk and White Amber are going to be things that I pick up on a more regular basis because of how neutral and mild those scents are. However, I do really appreciate DomeTwilight and Equator Rose, because I think that Equator Rose is super sexy, super appealing, super hypnotic for like dates and occasions where you just need to be grabbing attention. And DomeTwilight, I think that it has the potential to do the same. I just have to learn how to wear this appropriately. So that's my video. Thanks for sticking around for my perfume trade review. Hopefully I can pick up some time to do another one in the next week. However, I hope you a good one. If you have any thoughts, comments, if you tried any of these, definitely let me know. If you're curious, let me know. If you want to help finding these, I can definitely try to get you some help in finding any of these fragrances. Otherwise, I wish you the best. Take care and stay tuned for another YouTube video. See you guys. Bye.